Hello, traders. A very good morning to all of you. Tiago Andrade here from the Trading Cage. How are you today? Well, I hope that you are all as well as I am. So today, Thursday, the 26th of February, 2026. We're pretty much at the end of the month already. And it's really funny how first couple months of the year has flown by already. It's been really quick, at least for me. I'm doing 1,000 things at the same time, so things are a bit chaotic here, but everything has to be done and has to be done properly. So quite a bit involved on everything that I need to do. Today, we're going to be talking about our gold once again. Um, we expected the gold to be renewing that high from yesterday and grabbing that inefficiency. It didn't go as far as we wanted it to go. And then it dropped down once again um, to the regional support overnight. So let's go here to our daily chart. Let's start mapping this price so we can see exactly how we're gonna get this gold and get our take done today. Let me just organize a couple windows here on my computer because this thing's playing out. Okay, so you come here and you stay right here. All right. If I don't have all these windows done properly, I'll be going crazy during the live. All right, there we go. Too easy. So basically, um, candle 39 here closed below 50% of candle 38. Candle 40 once again tried to go up to candle 39's maximum high. Right now, I would expect candle 40 to come down to the region of the low point of candle 39 again. Now, we are still above 50% of the last retraction. Okay, we are above 50% of this retraction here. Let me see if I can grab one of these Fibos here. So if we put it right there and pull it up to here, we'll see that we're still above this 50%. This is a regional support. This is a regional support. So there's still plenty of support to go around on this region for the price. But for some reason, we don't have enough liquidity to go up to the record highs just yet. So price is a little bit consolidated in this region. I don't believe that price should be coming down below this 50% here. Of course, it could do, but at the moment, it hasn't shown me that it's going to be coming down here. Of course, we must say that we have this liquidity here and this liquidity below here, together with the inefficiency from candle 36. So these two together could be quite promising for the sellers. Okay, a lot of liquidity selling orders here below candle 38 and 39 for this price to come and grab. But for the moment, we are still above support here on 5158. All we need to do is wait to see a retraction and some kind of rejection of the support, showing us that price wants to go back up, or we need to see that price is still maintaining the structure and it is actually coming below to the region of the 5102. So this is pretty much us for the daily. Let's see what we have here on our 1 hour chart. On our 1 hour chart, we can see that yesterday, oh, this is the Fibo here I wanted to delete, so that's gone. We can see here on our 1 hour chart that this is where we bought yesterday. Okay, so we had the 3 candle pattern here yesterday, and we took this trade up to the maximum high of candle 53, and then we liquidated our position, and then in the afternoon price dropped back down to the entry point. When market opened, it actually came over here to grab a little bit of that inefficiency, then tested support once again and popped right back up. Candle 76 couldn't beat the trigger candle 65, so price dropped back down. We are just above support here once again. Candle 83 is trying to bring this price back up over to the 50% for the day. We have got trigger candle here, number 80, who could be holding, could work as a really good stopping point here. This trigger here, simply because we have a lot more resistance to the left as well. So as you can see, you've got all these candles here. It is a region of resistance for the price. So this is 50% of the week. Okay, this SA here. So it is a region that we need to pay attention to if we're trying to make trades actually going long. Below we have candle 47, which is the one that again held the price here from candle 68, from candle 69, and also around candle 71. So we do know that this trigger candle is a very strong trigger candle. So we're going to mark this one up as well, because this is support right there. So we know that that's support for the price. It's even a stronger support than the trigger candle on the daily, which is 5158, is our trigger candle 20. So we know that this one is a lot stronger than this one. I just leave that marking there, so I know that that's the trigger from the daily. Apart from this, if price does break through that trigger candle 80, we could have a very good long trade. Okay, up to the 50% of the day, and then from there, what would be a good target would be candle 76. Okay, so candle 76 would be a good target here for a long trade for the moment. And then if price breaks through that, we would have a bit of a hard time trying to break through candle 65. Let me just have a look to the left here. Yep, yep, so that's it. So we would have a hard time breaking through trigger candle 65 here. But it could be doable, all right? We just got to pay attention to the price, see what it's doing. We've got to wait for it to start breaking structures, because at the moment we still have got a trend line, a downtrend on 15 minutes. So let's go over to our 15 minutes to have a look. Let me just see if I can see anything else that I should map here on the 1 hour. No price consolidating between this and this. Let me get a Fibo here to have a look. So this is pretty much 50% of the week right there. Yeah. So I don't need that FIBO because we already have the 50% of the week. We can see that throughout the week, price has just been consolidating through this region here. I'm not gonna buy now, okay? I'm still a buyer in this market, okay? Unless price starts breaking through the support, because if it breaks through the support, I'm gonna become a seller really quickly, okay? Because I do believe that if price starts coming down, it's gonna have to come down a whole lot more to grab liquidity below. We have got a bit of liquidity here, and we have got quite a bit below here until this 5102. So there's a lot of liquidity below here. More liquidity is being created below candle 83. So if this market decides to drop down, we could be looking at a good reversal to the lower parts of this chart, okay? It is extremely doable, but at the moment, I'm still a buyer since price is still working above support, the same support as it had yesterday. Let's see if it will actually break through that 50% and break through that trigger candle 80. And then if it does, I might be willing to put a long trade in. Good morning to all of you that are here with us right now. It's really great to have you here. And thanks for being part of our daily lives here at the trading cage. Holy bugger. Okay. That was quick. Breaking through. Nice. Let's see if it candle 54 will be able to change, break the structure. Because at the moment, what we have here is we have market is on a downtrend, so it's got lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. What we want to see is candles starting to break these lower highs, right? So we have a lower high, lower low, lower high, then a lower low, lower high, lower low. If candle 54 continue breaking through here, that would give us a good indication that the market is changing its structure, and it would be a lot better to buy after it changes the structure instead of trying to buy without it changing that structure. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. So candle 54 here right now. Let me just go back to the 1 hour here. We are pretty much at that trigger candle 80. I'm gonna wait a little bit to see if it's gonna break through. So candle 160 here just touched that trigger candle, that region. 161 can well just drop from there right now, but I want to see if it's going to break that structure. If it does, it will give us a better indication of what the price wants to do right now. So candle 161 came down, tested trigger candle 159. Then it's just popping back up to try to beat this maximum high of candle 160. Here on the 1 minute, we can see that candle 801 did break through trigger candle 1799, but at the moment, it hasn't come here to renew that high yet. So what I'll do is we are above 50% of these movement. It's going there right now. Okay, cool. All right. So Tiago, why wouldn't you buy since it broke 50% of the week? I wouldn't buy because I've got that trigger candle right on my face here, and it's not worth it, okay? Putting my money at risk right here in front of a trigger candle, which is a very strong resistance. It's a lot easier for me to wait for this to be broken through, because then the next resistance I'll find, it's around the 50% of the day. So from here to here, I still have got about 600 points right now. If price doesn't accelerate the way it is accelerating, it does have a little bit of stops in here, so it could just continue on its way up. But at the moment, for me, I prefer to play it safe. It is the last couple of days of the month of February. So we do know that the last couple of days of the month, it doesn't have enough liquidity as the other ones. People are liquidating their positions on the last couple of days. So as I say every single day, patience pays the trader, and we have no need to be rushing through to start getting on trades. It's better to wait for it to show us exactly what we are looking for before we start getting into trades like this. So candle 161, I just hit that trigger candle 147 right now. Let's have a look again here at our now chart. We're just above that trigger candle 80. So we're just here. It did get there and then got a little bit of a push from the sellers here. Let's see if we'll be able to close inside of it. What we would be waiting for, if it does stay above that that line, is we would be waiting for a test from the next candle, which is going to happen right now. All we're waiting for is a test, and then we can get into that trade. Okay, candle 162 is testing. I'm gonna put a long trade here. Already got me. I did not even get to adjust my position. Cool. All right, so we are going long at the moment. First target would be 50% of the day. Second target I would have is trigger candle 45 here on the 15 minutes. Okay. So remembering this account is a small account that we started just for this channel not long ago. I'm gonna put my stop just down here. Actually, I'll put my stop below that trigger candle there. Let's see how far price gets right now. I could put my take up here. I don't know if it's gonna get as far as that, but let's leave it there for now. If price does keep breaking through these highs and breaking through the structure, it would be showing me that we might be going through a change of structure up from a low trend to a high trend. We do have the trend line here around the 50%, which might work as a resistance for the price as well. So we got to pay attention to that, even if we have it there. It would still be around that 50%. Once it gets over this one candle 146, it's gonna have to accelerate because it's gonna be grabbing the liquidity that it has in here, the stops from the guys who sold. So we should be seeing an acceleration at that point. Let's see if it's going to be able to break through that. On the 1 minute, we still have a very healthy movement up. So candle 804 broke through, candle 805 also closed above candle 804, candle 806 closed above 805, 807 did make a small retraction there, but let's see if it did manage to close above the closing of candle 806. Yes, it did. We're just getting a little bit of pressure from sellers because they don't want to be stopped. But right now, candle 808 is starting to get those stops. So far, we've got 200 points into this trade. After we go through 400 points, we are going to be putting this trade on break even. Let's see how 808 will behave, because we do need to grab the rest of that liquidity up above. There you go, big push from 809. And now we get into a region of resistance, which is the minimal of candle here, 10, 11 on 15 minutes. 10, 11, 36, 37, 38. So there's a little bit of resistance in that region. Let's see if 809 will manage to come back up. But at the moment, showing me that price does need to make a correction. I don't want to be holding this trade for too long in case all the market wanted was to come and grab that liquidity and drop it down back inside the movement, okay, inside of the structure. At the moment, it didn't close above 146, which does not break through the structure, okay? Just means that it came, grabbed liquidity, and price may drop back down. So that's not very good for me as a buyer, from my point of view, okay? But let's see if it's going to be able, if candle 163 managed to come back up and break through that 50%. If it doesn't, I would be looking to put my price on break even right now, because it could still be coming back down below. Big push from buyers, big push from sellers here at 50%. So as I said before, it's not a very easy region here. So what I'll do is I'll put my price on break even, because we are at the resistance here on the 15 minutes. Oh, actually, candle 54 just closed 55, just tested down, so I can hold this trade a bit more. No, I'm gonna hold this trade. I'm gonna hold it a little bit more. Candle 55 still needs to test down, so it's gonna test pretty much the region where my price, where we got into the trade. And then if it decides to come back down to the regional support, I'll close it a little bit faster. I'll accept a stop, a shorter stop, because we have good odds of this price actually breaking through that 50% at the moment. So how far would I accept my stop? I would accept it until about below candle 801 here, below that 50% of the week. This is as far as I would accept it. So right now, candle 812 has broken through that 50% of the day. Let's see if it will continue on its way up. I don't need to make a very big profit here today. All I'm trying to do is close the week with 10%. 10% profit on our wallet, which is I'm going to show you. So we started on last Friday. We started on last Friday with a $10,000. So I deposited $10,000 and we have made that turn into a $11,000. So all I'm looking for is to close the week with that 10% increase on our wallet. So 10% increase in a week, it's pretty awesome. Hopefully we'll manage to make 10% every week. Of course, that's doable, but it's not something that's going to happen every day, okay, every week. But closing with 10% increase is pretty good, which means that if we manage to do 30% in a month, that would be awesome, okay? This is the way that we do our risk management. We don't need to be making loads and loads of money. All we got to do is steady. If you have, okay, it's a $10,000 account, we managed to do 10%. If we had a $100,000 account and we did 10%, that would be $10,000. If we had a million, that would be $100,000. So it's all goes in accord with the capital you have, and this is how you're supposed to be playing out this game, okay? So right now, candle 55 is quite close to that trigger candle 45. I'm thinking if I should actually just take that trade out or try to let it run. I'm gonna try to let it run a little bit more to see how it goes. But on the 1 minute here, we start to see that candles stop breaking through each other, so they're not closing above anymore. So we can suspect that a retraction will happen really soon. So candle 812 did break through, but then candle 813 didn't, and then a more leverage to play with on my next trades. This is not going to be the only trade of the day. So let's see what 816 will do. But if it starts breaking through here, I will close this trade. What I'm looking at the moment is closing with that margin, that 10% margin of my week. And this is my target for the moment. Okay, let me get the stop loss. I'm gonna put here. Let's see if candle 164 is gonna find support around that 50% of the day, and if it's gonna try to make a pullback. It hasn't done it. Okay. Now we have got trigger candle here, 815, who is a resistance for candle 818. If this 50% of the day doesn't hold, then I'll let it take me out of the trade. So it did break through the 50% of the day here, but this region is a region of support. So if 819 actually breaks through this support here, which is the maximum high of candle 810 and 811, then there's no point of beholding this trade anymore, okay? Because price will have to come down quite a lot lower to grab liquidity and test before it continue on its way up. So let's see what 819 does. Candle 164 has got 3 seconds to go. It didn't confirm the pullback on the 1 minute. So now I'm going to put my stop right there because I'm not going to accept less than that now. All right, so candle 165 is trying to break through the last high of candle 164 here. Let's see if it's going to be able to break through. Now on the 15 minutes, we do know that trigger candle 45 is in a region of resistance, okay? So we got this trigger candle here, then we got relevant stopping points here on candle 8 and on candle 12. So it is not going to be an easy place for the price. Price may get a little bit stuck in there, but we do have, once again, we do have liquidity around this region here. So of course that we're going to be getting uh, a little bit of defense from sellers, okay? They are going to be putting contracts in there not to allow this price to go past. But we've got very big, strong movement here from buyers at the moment. We did break through that trend line, low trend. So that's already been broken through. and price is still accelerating, so we are going to hold this trade for a little bit longer. We can see that candle 801 here closed above the last structure of the pullback. Candle 822 is continue on its way up, so everything is looking awesome. Let me just adjust a couple of things here. So candle 822 didn't close above candle 821. We still want to see this price continue on its way up, okay? We don't want to be seeing it coming back to below this support that it has now generated on top of 815. Let's see what 823 will do. On the 15 minutes, we see that it's right inside of that trigger candle we spoke about. So if it does break through this structure here, this price will accelerate because we do have a whole bunch of liquidity right there. Okay, so this price could accelerate quite quickly. We've got 50 seconds to go on this candle. Only thing is that we need to wait for a test for the next one. And the test of the 15-minute candle can be quite a big one. So it could test is until basically the high part of candle 164. We do want to see candle 55 closing above these, at least inside of candle trigger candle 45, to tell us that that's a very healthy movement right now, and that we have enough force to continue on our way up. 17 seconds to go. Let's see how it goes. Hey, if you guys have got any questions about our technique and how we trade, just write down on the chat in there. I'll do my best to um, reply to you all and explain exactly what we're looking for. But what I do every single day is I read through exactly what's happening on the market. So you know exactly what I'm looking at and what I'm looking for from the price. So you should see, yeah, it should be fairly easy to be able to understand what we are looking for all the time. We always map the support and resistance as well every morning. So we will go through all the regions of price. And then just before we close the live, this live goes from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the morning. Because after 10, I do need to trade with my students, okay? So we offer mentorships, and I work with a school here in Brazil that we have probably about 62,000 students already that we have formed as traders, okay? Professional traders. So we have a room, um, a Zoom workshop that we will trade together with our students from 10 o'clock Brazilian time until about midday. And then we'll go through in the market and trade together, and we'll change experiences, and then we'll explain and teach them exactly what we're doing and what we're seeing, and we answer all their questions if they have any about it. Just make sure they are on the right track, and that's how we introduce our students to the market. Okay. So at the moment, candle 166 is coming down. If it does break through this high here, as I said before, I'm not looking to make millions today on this account. So I don't want price to be coming down below here. Okay, it can test there, but if it does break through that, I am going to take my trade out. simply because I'm just looking to get into that 10%. And at the moment, I am above that 10% of the account that we made for this channel. So I'm actually quite happy about this trade if it takes me out here. Okay, I'm not gonna get it out right now simply because this price can still come back down a little bit more. So I'm just gonna wait to see if it's gonna reject this support structure or if it's gonna actually try to come down. But I would still wait. This a good target for this trade would be up here if it does manage to break through. Um, but since I'm just looking to stay within that 10% gain in the week, I'm not going to be holding this trade forever if it goes the other way. There it comes. So trying to break support right now. And it's going to take me out. It's going to take me out with 50 bucks in my pocket. Cool. I'm out. So right now we managed to stay within. I'm going to show you again. So this was my target for the week. So this was my target for the week, 10% gain in a 1 week, okay? I can show you the history here. So we had some stops, we had some gains, okay? So gains, stops. Just so you know that stop is a part of life, okay? So don't worry. Oh, Tiago, I got to stop today. That's totally fine, mate. It happens, okay? Stops happens to everybody. One thing that you got to make sure is that your risk management is in place, okay? Never play around with your, thanks, Marcus. Never play around with your risk management, okay? Because if you start playing around with your risk management, you're going to be always playing around with it. So stick to your rules, do what you're supposed to do. Right now, candle 166 did break through the minimals of candle 165. Okay. So I was expecting price to come above candle 44 because we do have a lot of liquidity in there. We are at the region of 50%. If this candle 167, we are also above that trend line. If candle 167 comes here, grabs the liquidity and closes above, we would have a 3 candle pattern to the high once again, okay? So you could buy again in here to go long until the maximum high of this movement here. So we could get into another trade. It is all about our planning. The planning that I had for the week was getting to that 10% profit. My target has been done. Um, I'm really happy about that, actually. Really, really happy. So all we got to do is wait for the best opportunities now. I am going to still be trading today, but I'll be looking for the best opportunities to make sure that we don't mess up our target, okay? Some people say, oh, Thiago, you're too cautious on your trades. Yes, of course I am. To be profitable, it's better to be cautious than just to go crazy clicking everywhere without any knowledge. Even us, with the knowledge we have, knowing exactly where the price will go, sometimes it still plays around with us. So why would I risk just anywhere just to say that I'm in a trade? I don't look at things this way. simply because I'm not a trader that I want to be trading for 1 day or 1 week. I'm a trader who trades for life, right? So if I'm trading for life, I don't need to make millions in 1 day. All I need to do is make about 2% every day. If I make 2% every day, that's enough for me to survive with my family, to have a really good life and take care of my businesses and do everything else that I need to do. So we got big rejection here. This can be a pullback up until the 50% region, okay, over here. So I would only accept this as a pullback pretty much if it came down here. If it does break through, then it's not a pullback anymore. Then it would confirm a pullback to the minimals. So we would see price coming down a lot lower to grab liquidity below. Now it is showing me that this might work as a three candle pattern here, rejection of the 50%, but I would like candle 167 to close inside of candle 166, preferably inside of candle 165. Let's see if it will do that. If it does, it would make me happy. Let's see if candle 168 will test down. It did reject the 50%, but it didn't quite reject the way I wanted to. It is a three candle pattern, so I'm gonna, as I say, 85% of these will pay. It is a really good test. Can't say it's a bad test, so let's see if this will actually be able to go through. Okay, it has tested down. So we want to see a rejection of this 50% once again to continue on its way up. If it does break through the minimums of candle 167, we'll take our buy order out. Let's wait for the price to do what it needs to do. Okay, so if candle 168 closes inside of candle 167, we will be taking our buy order out. Okay. On 1 minute here, we see that it can't manage to renew minimals, so it's staying above those minimals there. Let me just check one thing. So we got these movement here. So if we put our feeble there, would be just, yeah. So that's right, just above that 50%. Cool. Let's see if these three candle patterns gonna work, and we are now on the trade. So my stop will be just below, will be a very small stop. Should be just below here, candle 167. Because if it rejects that region and that trigger candle, I want a very short stop. Candle 838 went, got our order, then brought the price back into the structure. We do have all of these inefficiency here that was generated. So price could just go up, straight up actually. Candle 56 on the 15 minutes. Let's see how that's gonna close. Come on, buddy. Come on. Now I have that 50%. Let's see if that will break through. Candle 840 is trying to go through. It has that trigger candle 824 there. We could hold that price. Don't come back. I'm gonna put my price on break even because I'm not gonna lose money on this trade. If it comes and takes me out, that's totally fine, but I'm not losing money. Candle 56 closed on its 50% region. So it did not break through that trigger candle 45 again. This is why I decided to put my price on break even here. Okay. Even though candle 169 can still come and test the trigger candle 167 and continue on its way up. Gonna come take me out. Cool. And that's totally fine for me. Simply because I don't want to be losing money here if this breaks through that 50% of the day. So I wasn't going to hold that trade. But there we go. As I said, it could come, test trigger candle 167, and could continue on its way up. But it hasn't managed to break through 50% of this movement on the 1 minute. It's trying to fight through, but it hasn't managed to stay above that 50% just yet. Let's see if it will do it now. Okay, so it stayed above 50%. So now we expect this price up there, okay? It has confirmed pullback on 1 minute to the highs. So obligation the price now, it should come here and renew the maximum high of candle 824. Guys, I do have to go. It has been awesome to have you guys here with us. Just leaving you a quick analysis. If price stays above this 50% of the day, okay, and breaks through this maximum high and tests this region again, actually, I'm going to use. So what we want to see is price actually coming here, breaking through, testing this region, and then coming through here, we could see price going over to renew this maximum high. Okay, so this is one of the readings you could buy here as long as it confirms the pullback to the highs. You could buy here and hold this trade into this region. Now, if it does the other way around, if it comes back below 50% of the day and breaks through the support, because this is a very strong support now, if it breaks through this support and tests this 50% of the week, you could be shorting these price up until about this region here. Okay, so we have a buy scenario and we've got a going low selling scenario here, simply because at the moment around the 50% of the day is going to be very a very harsh place to be trading, because we've got big pressure from sellers there and pressure from buyers. Uh, I'm still waiting for the price to break through the structure here, because it's still a lower low, lower low, lower low. At the moment, it hasn't been able to to renew that high in there to say that it's changing the structure. So I would be careful about um, just buying anywhere, okay? So around here, as we could say, these three candle patterns should have paid up here, and it didn't. So we got to be careful about these trades. Well, guys, thank you very much. I do have to go to our workshop. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I hope that you've been enjoying this channel, and I hope that you'll be learning on quite a bit on how the market in the gold and how our strategy always keeps us very safe on our trades. If you have any questions, get in touch with me. I do offer private mentorships, okay? So if you need to learn how to do this, how to trade, I can teach you from zero until you become an expert. All right? So get in touch with me. Feel free to go over to my social media, okay? So I'm just gonna write here on the chat. This is my Instagram, and also this is the Instagram of the channel. So sorry about that. Hang on. So you can follow me on those social medias there. I tend to post quite a bit in there, and also gonna leave my Brazilian phone number here. If you do want to get in touch with me about private mentorships, and this is WhatsApp. So feel free to get in touch with me on those numbers. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I do have to go. I hope that you enjoyed today's market analysis. It was actually quite good. We had a small take in there, which was okay. Let's wait for the opening of the American market and let's see what else we'll have for today. Okay, I'll catch you soon, and I'll be uploading more videos later on today. See you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. This has been the Trading Cage, where we beat the gold. I'll see you soon.